Hey guys, Dan here with Pain-Free You. In this video I want to talk about fear, and the concept here is lose the fear, lose the pain. So let's get into it. Chronic pain and TMS, or distraction pain, is really an epidemic of fear. It starts with this fear and avoidance of emotions. And once we get the pain and we suffer from the physical pain, we now have fear of the pain, the physical pain. And so what starts it is the fear of the emotions, that they're scary, dangerous, unacceptable. These emotions are going to hurt us in some way. And so then, like I said, we get the physical pain, and that's excruciating and can sometimes be very disabling and cause all sorts of trouble. We now need care from others. We need help from others. And we start to view and envision this life of misery and discomfort and agony, actually. And so fear about the future, the what if scenario. What if I never get better? What if I have pain forever? What if? And that's the fear of the future. And so we have a lot of fears going on when it comes to this chronic pain. We still probably have fear of these emotions. We were taught as kids that they are unacceptable, dangerous, scary. Hey, you ever cry in front of your parents when you're 6 years old? Hey, don't be such a big baby. I just said no to having a cookie. I'll give you something real to cry about. Don't cry. Be strong, right? You know, there's some ladies I've talked to that were raised by single mothers, and the mother had to be strong for the kids. The mother had to play the role of both the mother and the father, and wanted to teach their daughters how to be strong. So we don't cry. We don't cry in this house. Oh, really? Right? And so these mothers that were very well-meaning and doing the best that they could have taught us that certain emotions are not okay. Getting angry is not okay. I know as a kid, I wasn't allowed to get angry, especially with my parents, because then my dad would really let me have it. Right? So fear, if we can lose the fear of the emotions, that's probably the easiest thing to come up with, because really it's a lot easier to rationalize that, hey, I'm sad, so what? Nothing happens, you're sad. I'm angry, okay, so what? Nothing happens, right? So if we can lose the fear of the emotions, that's a great place to start. And what you really want to do is start really getting thoughtful about why are you afraid of your emotions. That's why I have those exercises that say, what does it mean about Dan if I allow myself to feel sad or angry or jealous or shameful or guilty or whatever? Because what we want to do is break down our beliefs about ourselves if we feel certain emotions. And that's where the fear comes from. Because if you believe that if you feel angry, then you're going to be out of control, crazy, and just like your angry dad, and you've promised never to be like that. That's what your belief is about these emotions, and so you're going to bottle them up. You are afraid of being just like your angry, crazy dad. So if we can lose the fear of these emotions and give yourself permission to freely feel this anger, knowing that I'm not my dad. I'm never going to be my dad, right? Doesn't mean I'm going to treat my kids the way he treated his, or treat, my partner the way he treated my mom, right? So lose the fear of the emotions is the best thing you can do. So spend some thoughtful time really analyzing, what does it mean about you if you feel certain emotions? And is that really something to be afraid of? Is that based on reality, or is that based on something you learned as a kid? Seriously. Because most of our subconscious beliefs, especially about emotions, are not our beliefs. They were given to us. They were programmed from the time we were born till 7 years old. That's when we learned so much about ourselves and our emotional world, and how we kind of fit into the world, and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So as an adult, you get to decide, really decide, that my emotions are safe, right? And I don't need to be afraid of my emotions. You really don't. There's nothing to be afraid of. Seriously. Get sad. So what? Nothing happens. You cry a little bit. You know, by the way, it feels better after you're done crying. So why are you so afraid of crying? All right, let's talk about fear. Fear of what other people will think. Boy, is that a big one, right? So much of our lives is spent fearing what other people think about us. And we completely give up any decisions that we would make for ourselves because we are living to try to get the approval of somebody else. Initially, as kids, we're living our life trying to get the approval of our parents. So if they say stop crying, we kind of stop crying because we want the love and approval from our parents. And there's infinite numbers of examples of what we do to gain the approval of somebody else. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. And if you make a decision that's not very popular, well, you may not be accepted. And we don't want to disappoint our parents because, you know, growing up, they're who we had. They're the most important people in our lives. And so we spend our entire lives trying to make other people happy and so damn fearful of what other people will think of us. Almost to the point where you can be going through the grocery store and being afraid of what some absolute stranger who you will never see again in your life thinks about your outfit, or the way you walk, or the way you talk, or, you know, you didn't do your hair just right today. And we're afraid of that. And our body goes, oh, I don't want those people to think bad of me. Right? I'm here to tell you that stuff doesn't matter. I would suggest you become much more mindful of what you think about yourself. Come on. Isn't that more important than what some stranger in the grocery store thinks about you? What do you think about yourself? Do you believe you're a good person? I do. I believe you're a good person. I believe you're all a good person. You're good people. We've had tough lives. We've learned some things as kids that really aren't serving us anymore. It's time to change that. It's time to become aware of it. There's that common theme, awareness. Right? So lose the fear of these emotions. Lose the fear of what other people think of you. Yeah, look, you're in a job. It's important for you to be, you know, well-liked and respected by your boss. Of course. But if you walk around petrified all day long, wondering if your boss is going to think something negative of you, you're not going to really be focused on the job, are you? You're so busy looking behind you to see if the boss is looking, to see if he's going to think you're making a mistake. You're not going to actually be able to perform and do anything useful. So fear of our emotions, get rid of them. Fear of what other people think of you, get rid of them. Fear of the pain, that one's a little more challenging. I'll give you that. Right? Absolutely will give you that, because when we actually feel pain as significant as it has been for me, and I'm sure for you, boy, it's really, really easy to become afraid that that pain's going to continue, that that pain's not going away. And then we start to do these emotional processes by any number of the experts in this mind-body world. And it's not working. And we've been doing it for, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. In my case, 13 years. Holy crap. Before I finally broke through. And so it's really, really, really easy to get afraid that this pain's not going to leave. And we always go to that what if. What if it doesn't? Oh, my life's going to be awful. What if I'm going to feel this pain for the rest of my life, every single day? Oh my God, that's going to be awful. What if, what if, what if? So now what we're doing is we're literally choosing to go into that movie theater I talked about a few videos ago. Going into movie theater 12 that says Dan's messed up future. Dan's screwed up future of pain and agony and misery. So is that helping us? No, not at all. So what can we do? Yesterday I shot a video about it's a feeling process, not a thinking process. So if you can get out of this movie mode, out of this story mode that I like to call it, and kind of get back to present and say, okay, I'm hurting today, got it. And anytime you catch yourself, and you truly got to catch yourself, thinking the what if this never goes away, and I'm so sad and angry and everything about it not going away, and you're focusing on the pain, you're feeling angry and sad about the pain, you're completely distracted by the pain, and you're missing the point, which is you had all sorts of overwhelming, unacceptable, scary, and even perceived as dangerous emotions that didn't fit in with your own self-image, So much so that you ran away from them, you shoved them away from yourself. And you're so distracted by the pain that you are absolutely missing the point that you had all these other emotions that caused the pain in the first place. So your goal should be to fix your focus back to the emotions that were going on at the time, that could be going on presently. And it's really important to shift back to the emotional world and shift away from the fear of the future, because the fear of the future is not going to help you. The future is absolutely just going to look like that horror movie. And if you are thinking about the future, I would absolutely suggest that you focus on a future that you want, and that you can start to wire in your head these circuits that are going to help you create the life you're looking forward to. Focus on what you want to create: happiness, a future of productivity, of connections, of human connections with other people and friendships and family, right? If you're going to think about the future, think about the one you want, not the one you fear will happen. So fear, if we can lose the fear, we can lose the pain. And it's not just fear of the pain that we got to lose. That's a really good starting point, because when you lose the fear of the pain, here's the deal. When you actually truly understand what TMS, distraction pain, what this actual mind-body process is, you realize there's nothing structurally wrong with you. And that should be the biggest relief ever. And when you lose the belief that you're structurally broken, now all of a sudden you see the potential and the possibility of a pain-free life. And the fear can dissipate very quickly. I truly believe those book cures out there, people who read a book and get better, it's because they have a switch and they turned it off and they said, holy crap, I'm not broken. I'm not afraid anymore. And they stop fearing the pain and they say, I'm going back to my life. This is fantastic. And even if it hurts today, I know I'm not broken. They lose the fear completely. And then they also say, those emotions are nothing to be afraid of either. Some people can instantly get that. I think some of those people have less traumatic childhoods, less traumatic lives than perhaps some of us do. And so for some of us, it takes a little bit longer. It takes a little bit of practice. So don't get discouraged if you don't get that book cure. We all want that. Who doesn't want to read a book and automatically have their chronic pain that they've had for years disappear in an instant? It's possible. But as long as you've got fear of the emotions, you're going to keep on repressing them. You're going to struggle every time you sit down to feel your emotions and do an emotional process that's designed to help you end the pain. And as long as you are fearing the pain and fearing the future life of pain and focused on that misery and that agony, it's going to be tough for the pain to let go. So look, the message is clear. Lose the fear of all this stuff that I've just talked about. Lose the fear and you can lose the pain. As long as you're running around chasing yourself with a hatchet, telling yourself to be afraid, be very afraid, it's going to be really tough for this pain to let go. Because when we are afraid of our emotions and of our pain and of our future life of what if it doesn't go away, and our fear of what everybody else thinks about us, we're in a state of fight or flight or freeze, and the adrenaline and cortisol is pumping. And those stress hormones tend to amplify the nervous system, so it creates this wicked spiral, this wicked downward spiral of fear, focus, pain, agony, adrenaline, cortisol, increased stress and tension, and more pain and what ifs, right? You see how quickly we can get caught up in this. And so seriously, let me know. Does this make sense that if you can lose the fear of your emotions, of what other people think, and lose your fear of the pain and what that pain means to you and what your future life may be if it doesn't go away, do you agree that if you can lose your fear, then there's no more reason for the pain? And if that's the case, wouldn't one of the most important things to do would be to kind of talk yourself off the ledge that we've been teetering on for a long, long time, and start to Start to allow yourself to feel the fear, but then let it pass. Let go of it. Don't cling on to it, right? Unresolved emotions are when we run from them and we hide from the fear, but it's still there. Running from the fear doesn't make it go away. It's going to keep chasing you. And if you allow it in and you allow yourself to feel the fear consciously, but you won't let go of it, you're going to cling to it, you're going to lock the doors and keep that fear inside. Now you're living with a whole bunch of fear, and it's not allowed to release, it's not allowed to go. And so resolve that emotion of fear. Allow yourself to feel it, but then allow it to go. And then decide consciously that the pain itself is just like a rubber snake. It's fake. It's scary at first. But when you realize it's not real, it's real. Don't get me wrong. It's in our body. We feel it. But when we know it's not based on a structural problem, then we realize, okay, I can breathe easy. There's nothing, I'm not broken. And when we realize that emotions are just emotions, and if we get sad or angry or upset, we can say, so what? I'm sad, angry, or upset. So what? Nothing happens. You just get those emotions, you feel them for a while, and then they go. So lose the fear, people. Lose the fear, and you will lose your pain. Because I think Nicole Sachs says, chronic pain is an epidemic of fear. And she's absolutely right. So thank you for that, Nicole. But lose the fear, and you can lose the pain. Focus on your emotions. Feel your emotions deeply. Yesterday's video talked about that. If you missed it, go back and watch it. But feel your emotions deeply. Lose the fear, and you will lose your pain. If you like this video, comment below. If you have a lot of fear, tell me below. What are you afraid of? Literally, what is it that you're afraid of? Is it the things I'm talking about, or are there other fears that you're worried about? Let me know. Comment below, please. And if you like this video, share it. And we will talk to you soon. Thanks.